Wilson Kimunya Washira. He is the director, Mediplan Clinics.
Correct.
Big titles. Mina kuja tu kama Washira. Doc.
No. Actually, that's just one of the hats we wear, so that's good. At least for the day.
I know. We've really had. You were supposed to come here, I think, a month ago.
Yes.
And then every time something comes up, and today we said it's a public holiday, but hatutakubembeleza. Us guys work on public holidays, and so do you.
Yeah,
when duty calls.
Yeah.
And a conversation we really wanted not to. I wanted to have this conversation on air, but I didn't want to. I didn't want it to be, because I feel like it's very basic to have this conversation without a doctor in the room, right? We have a lot of assumptions.
Correct.
And this is a conversation that is so touchy, especially in our country. I have friends who are going through the injectables. I have relatives, and some not for the reasons that people would imagine, cosmetic reasons. There's people who genuinely have weight problems. They're genetically predisposed to, a certain shape or a certain weight, and people always imagine you're vain, you're lazy, you like shortcuts, and that's the reason why you are getting injectables. First, tell us what injectables are, Doc.
So injectables are meds that have been created or have been formulated to try help take care of one of the biggest problems that we have currently. If you look around, we've had an increase in the number of people who are overweight, who are becoming obese. Our prevalences right now is for every 10 persons you see on the road, 1 is obese. For every 10 people you see on the road, 2 are overweight. So that's a damning realization that you're making. And we want to see whether there are ways that can be able to help them over and above the normal things that we usually do, your exercises, your diet plan and all this.
Yeah.
So some of the companies are abroad. They came up with this wonderful formulation. Initially, it was supposed to treat diabetes.
Yes.
And
Viagra was supposed to be
to treat portal hypertension and hypertension, pulmonary hypertension.
Yes.
So this medication, as one of the side effects, as we call it,
yes,
was weight loss, but it was sustainable weight loss. So some of them they came about like that, and now over time, FDA has approved them to be used in weight loss management.
Not all of them.
Not
though.
all of them. No.
Some.
So some of them have been approved for weight loss management globally, not just in here in Kenya, just globally, and. It's a game changer because a lot of the things that come with being overweight and being obese are things that interfere with your health significantly. So the quality of life becomes off. You start to get these interesting conditions, so hypertension, diabetes, and all these other comorbidities that are there. They become worsened. And what injectables do in most of the cases is to try reverse that process, to bring it back to where you ideally should have been. Yeah, so there are quite a number of them.
We've seen the GLC-1s. I think that's...
Yeah, so GLP-1,
GLP-1?
Yeah, so
okay, GLP-1.
Correct. So some of them target... So those GLP...
GLC ni Mercedes. Yeah, so
these are just receptors, really.
Yeah.
And these things are produced by the body. So you have to understand that the body actually produces its own...
They are hormones.
Their own hormones. They are hormones that are produced by the body.
Yes.
So the GLP specifically helps with satiety, helps with, a feeling of fullness and all that. So when your body produces this particular hormone, what it does is when it binds to this particular receptor, it makes you feel full.
Yes.
So, or it makes you stop eating, because that's what it's supposed to do. And these receptors are distributed everywhere. So they're in the brain, where we call the hypothalamus. We will not go into that too much.
Yes,
and
please.
in your pancreas as well, where the insulin is being produced. So they modulate the production of this insulin, which helps with absorption of sugar. Now, there's another one called the GIP as well. So a lot of what we see in the market are GLP, but there are some which come with both GLP and GIP in antagonism. So the agonist. So they mimic what the body produces to make you become fuller earlier, so that you don't have this particular, we call it the food noise. So a lot of the times you just want to keep eating. So if that silences that, and if well taken, that silencing goes a long way in making sure that your metabolism is taken care of and all these things are avoided.
I love that you brought that point. So who's eligible? Because I know there's other, I don't know what it's called, the psychotherapy that you can go to have to change your brain chemistry and how your body or your mind views food. So who's eligible? How do you say as a doctor that we've tried all other interventions? I feel like you are a best candidate for this because tumejaribu kila kitu. But I feel like this will help you or probably boost what you've already been working towards. When do you make that decision as a doctor? When do you make the call?
So it's very personalized for every single person, but the protocols are very clear that people who have obesity type 1 and type 2, so those are guys who have BMIs of above 30.
Yes.
And they have tried everything else and it's not working, they are eligible. Or people who have a BMI of above 27, but they have other comorbidities. So comorbidities, we talk about hypertension, diabetes, sleep apnea. Those are the things that would make you be qualified for this particular medication.
Yes.
Now, we are seeing a lot of people buying the medication and injecting themselves.
Yes, I was going to get to that. Is that abuse?
It's abuse. It's not ideal because you do not know what markers to look out for. And it's important to understand that this thing is not just a cosmetic thing. It's supposed to help you get to where you need to be metabolic-wise.
Yeah.
And if you just take the medication for no reason or for whatever reason you want to take it and you're not monitoring, the chances of you getting some adverse effects, which we'll not know how to handle them, is very high.
Yeah.
So we usually advise that if you are to start on this medication,
under
you have
medical
to have a
supervision.
Proper medical supervision.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they do first is to first of all check all your organs, all your the things that what you call a baseline.
Yes.
So that we know, okay, you are fit to take this medication. It will not cause damage to the things that would be damaged. So your liver, your kidney, your heart, all these things have to be checked before you start.
Yes.
So it's ideal that you walk this journey, if you're going to walk this journey, with somebody who is a qualified medic and people who have been certified to do this particular work.
Okay, can you take this in excess? And then I wanted to ask you, since it's a naturally occurring hormone, is it like a supplement? You take it after a while and then your body kicks in like naturally and starts to produce it? Or what happens there? Because we never understand the science behind it, because doctors have been very insistent on this is something that naturally is created by your body. So why are we using a synthetic version? Are we all going through this deficiency? What is going? Very layman, but we needed you to give us that microscopic, view of this naturally occurring substance that is supposed to be made by all of us in our bodies. Does it deteriorate over time and age? What is going on, Doc?
So over time, as you progressively become older and you're exposed to all these things, sometimes food noise becomes a problem. And that's a big deal. Yeah. So you have access to all this food that you have, and your body is not able to give you proper inhibitions to these things. Now, when you take these injectables, what it does amplifies that. But you don't just take the injectables only. That's why we're saying you have to be in this journey with somebody who understands what they're doing.
Yes.
So while you're doing that, we have a team that takes care of you. So there's a nutritionist who's helping you to now start looking at your macros and micros, whatever you're taking in. You're actively changing your lifestyle. So you're getting into the gym. If you're going to the gym, you're training and making sure that you create this lifestyle that's able to sustain this particular loss that you've had. There are people who are able to get off it after they've gotten to where they need to get to, but some may need to be on it for a longer term. So the shorter term could be between 6 months to a year. There are guys who have comorbidities that will require them to be on it for longer, and that is something that you make. It's a decision that is made between the provider and the patient based on the results that they're seeing or based on the findings that they found.
Wow. Okay, without advertising your clinic,
Correct.
Does everybody have that knowledge to handle the injectables? Amani, it just comes with the territory. I'm a doctor. Nani ajui kutumia syringe? Because I feel like everyone is now doing it. Even these facilities I've seen online that are not medical facilities offering the services. And I've also seen people injecting themselves without the medical supervision because it's like peptides. It's like, so we're going through a fad in the world over, because it's not a Kenyan problem.
True.
And is there anybody regulating this, Doc?
At the moment, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council is their role to regulate this.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have proper mechanisms that are in place to regulate this. That's why you're seeing a lot of people just cropping around. Even if you open, like, say, for example, one of the providers of medication, like if you open a pharmacy, they would just tell you, you know what, send us a prescription and we'll send you the medication.
Yeah.
It's something that we need to probably tighten the regulation around,
yes,
so that we are able to get the benefits that it brings, because it's if you weigh just the benefits that it brings, it's significant. So if we're able to tighten the regulations and get to that point, it would be nice. So to answer your question, I don't think we have a very clear demarcation of who is supposed to give and at what point. But most of the doctors who are giving are either physicians.
Yes.
So if you should do your research and see what kind of qualifications these individuals have.
Yes.
And probably from referrals, you can be able to tell, okay, these are people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So there are some who are actually qualified as physicians and there are others who are not. So it's a very difficult conversation that we cannot really exhaust at this particular point.
Yeah. I feel so too. So we're going to take a short break, a water break, also catching up and giving him some water. And how we've color coordinated. Oh my God, the universe is speaking. Are we not all in military green in the studio today? I'm like, wow, even my daughter is in gray. We are Ryla and Ida over here in the studio today. If your girlfriend is watching, I'm sorry, it's not me, it's the universe. Hi, friend. So I'm going to play Shantae Moore's Love's Taken Over. And then when we come back, any questions you may have for Dr. Bashira at SpiceFM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or you can call us live in the studio, 07190122600. I have a return ticket to Europe, any destination, powered by Lufthansa Group and Brussels Airlines. We'll be talking about that as well, because I'm that chick. Santa in the middle of the year. Can you imagine? Watu wamekasirikia finance bill na mimi napatia watu airline tickets. Does not get better than this. See you in a few.